especially advanced Hwoarang players, when they see you do 1, 2, 3, they already think to do it down 2. So that's why I always mention to do 1, 2, 4, 3 to kind of get them to stop trying to do down jabs. And I've actually gotten a lot of people, advanced players, to stop trying to do down 1 or down 2 jabs. Another good string is going to be your 1, 2, 4, 4. The reason I mention this is because whether it be close or far, it really doesn't matter. If it gets blocked at all, it has that really good pushback, and it's actually plus 9 on block. So if you can actually find a different way to like get up there, you're actually in the positives. So like if they're up against the wall, this is actually really good for continuing pressure. Let's see. And then you have your just a normal 2. It is plus 0. It is 0 on block. I don't know why I said plus. But the reason I mentioned this particular one is just because you have your 2, 3, which puts you in left flamingo stance. You have your 2, 4, which puts you in right flamingo stance. You have your 2, 4, 3, which is just a quick little. This is basically all the same as your 1, 2 moves, but it's a little bit of faster poke. And honestly, I found these to be a little better most cases. But that's all depends on you. And then you have his 2 forward 4, which again is the same, basically the same, just taking away a single hit. So that's pretty much it with that. You have his 3, 3 strings. You have his 3, 3. You have his 3, 3, 3. This is minus 14 on block, so be very careful using it. It doesn't have a lot of pushback either, so it is fairly punishable. Let's see. The reason I mention this, however, is because if you do 3, 3 forward, it'll put you in left flamingo stance, and it turns your minus 14 string into a plus 2 string. So you should easily be able to get like a quick punch in there or something. So that's why I mentioned it. And I'll get into more details of why I even mentioned the 3, 3, 3 string here in a little while. I don't want to get into it right now. Until I get into another move first. But your next string is going to be a 3, 3, 4. Now the reason I say to be careful with this because it's a high, mid, high. And a lot of people, when they see the 3, 3, a lot of people already think to duck. So that's why I say be careful using this string. This string is going to be more useful in this string. Holy crap! This string is going to be a lot more useful in a combo than a string. But it will put you in right flamingo stance, and it is plus. It's between plus 8 and 12. I think it depends on the distance, like whether they're near a wall or not. So either way, it's a plus frame. I'm just gonna go with plus 8 just because it seems like the more realistic. But according to my cheat sheet here, it can be plus 12. I believe that's more referring to depending on the distance. So let's go ahead and get into our next one. So our next move is going to be your 3, 3 forward 4. Now this one isn't going to be something you use a lot, but if it does manage to go through, it gets really good damage. Or shit. It does 30 damage. That last hit. It's actually 15. The first hit does 15 damage. The second hit does 12 damage. And then your last hit actually does 25. I guess I just saw it differently because I did a counter. But either way, really? It does, it knocks him down either way. So that's really, really good. Our next one's going to be our Flying Eagle move. And the best way to explain how to do this move is not at the same time, but you want to quickly press 3 and then 4. Like if you do 3 and then 4 and just hit them like normal, you're not going to get anything. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, you're not getting the same thing. But if you hit them really fast, you're going to get the Flying Eagle move. And you're going to really, really want to learn how to do this. Not particularly for this move, but for a move I'm going to show you guys here shortly in the future. However, the reason I'm pointing this out is because this move is -3 on block. A lot of people don't actually know that. It does have a 22 frame startup. However, it is -3 on block. So that's why I mention it. It is a very underrated, underused move. I use it a lot. But it's -3. It knocks down on hit, so it's really, really good. So our next little string is going to be our our 4-3. This is a really, really good string. It's natural. It's -5 on block. And the reason I'm pointing this string out for the most part is a lot of people don't know this, and it's not even in the move list. It never has been. But if you hold forward, it'll put you in left flamingo stance. Or my bad. So a lot of people don't know that. Let's see. So another move I want. So now we're on to his 4-4 strings. I am going to go over all of this, just because they all pretty much put you in different stances. I just want to. I'm going to get into some detail with this, however. So you have his 4-4, which is only -1. So you should be able to easily get like a 1 in there, or my bad, a 2 in there, or a 1 in there, before they can really do much. But it's still something to be careful with. You have his 4-4-3, which puts you in right foot forward. You have his 4-4-4, put you in right flamingo stance, which again is -1 on block. They say the 4-4-3 is -9, but because of the distance and the fact that it force crouches on block, it's not something I've never really been punished for this. So it's really good for me. But the main reason I wanted to point this string out is for this particular next string, which is going to be your 4-4-4-4. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is because literally every single noob Hwoarang player I've seen use this, and I really wanted to point this out because I kind of wanted to tell y'all to stop doing this. Like, I don't want to tell you to stop doing it, but don't use this all the time. I've seen people that literally use this string as a go-to string to use. And the reason I'm trying to say not to use it as much is because they're all highs. In any Tekken game beforehand, it was always high, 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 mid. But now they're all high, so these can all be ducked after the second hit. After the second hit, if they get hit at all. So be really, really careful with that. My suggestion would be to go with the 4-4-4-3, just because it is -9, so that makes it a little bit more punishable. However, it's a mid, so if they try to duck it or if they try to punish you, it'll hit them. For sure. And that's why I really wanted to point those out. And obviously, as you guys can see, the 4-4-4-3 also puts you in right foot forward. So our next attack is going to be our 4-2. And this is -2 on block. So it's really good. It's only a 16 frame startup. And it puts you in right foot forward. Our next attack is very situational. So our next move is going to be our 4-3 neutral 3. So that's what that is going to end up looking like. And to know whether or not you actually did this right is going to be pretty easy. So there's two different ways that this is going to turn out for you. You're either going to get this, or you're going to get something like this, or you're going to get something like this. Now, those moves aren't necessarily bad, but those aren't the moves we're talking about here. So this move ends up being really valuable in a lot of cases. And I've never seen another Hwoarang player use it, like, ever. And it's a very underused move. It is -16 on block, so it does have that punishing factor. However, it does have, oh my goodness, it does have enough pushback to make it hard to be punished. And I wouldn't really use this as a move to use. What's the word? I wouldn't really use this as a move to use in a string, but more as a move to end one of these makeshift combos, like the one I just showed you. And I'll get into that later. Let's see. But it's really good. It does say it's -16 on block. I don't think it is. It might be. Yeah, I guess it would be, just because of how long it takes to put your foot back down. But I haven't been punished from it yet, and it's always worked out in my favor. So it's a very situational move, but definitely whip it out every now and again, just to mess with your opponents. You have his forward 4, and this is actually +8 on block. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. You have his forward 1 +2. It's -9 on block, so this is one of those moves you want to be careful with. However, as you guys can see, it is launch punishable. Or not launch punishable, counter hit launcher. My bad, guys. Like I said in my previous video, I am absent-minded, and I do tend to get all over the place, so I apologize. Our next move is going to be our down forward 1. It's actually +1 on block. So if you remember, if you watch my Katarina video, I mentioned her down forward 1. It was actually -1 on block. So Hwoarang is one of the few characters that actually has a plus frame out of his down forward 1. Let's see. He has his down forward 3. Be careful with using this string, just because it's -11 on block. So you want to be really careful. Sometimes it's best to just cancel it all together, which if you go to do it and you're holding forward, you can cancel it. So that's why I mention it. And you have his down forward 3-4. It is -13. However, again, it's one of those moves. You can use it, but it's probably easier to use as like a combo.